I owe all of you fan members an apology. I uploaded part two twice. I am so sorry. But check this out. There's a quiet truth most people never confront. Not because it's hidden, but because it's too visible. And this is part one of a five-part series. Your life right now is the direct result of the decisions you've made and the decisions you've avoided. Ray Dalio doesn't just say that, he builds a system around it, a system that forces you to see yourself clearly. And that's what a lot of us are trying to avoid by smothering our lives in food and all kinds of stuff. You only fan members, here's Ray Dalio.
Don't settle. Don't settle by being around people who are not the greatest people to be around. Don't settle for a job that isn't a great job. So many people think they settle, they think it's the best situation that they can be with, they tolerate it. There's an open world. Just try to go from one to another until it's excellent. The best people around you and the best job that you can possibly have. Don't settle.
And most people would rather stay blind, like I was saying. And that's not the way to be. We got to be different. We got to decide. It's a decision, a choice. We have those. Reality is the game, whether you play or not. Dalio teaches something simple, a brutal truth. Reality doesn't care what you want. It doesn't bend, it doesn't negotiate, it doesn't sympathize. Only this is Ray Dalio on how you deal with things you don't know.
Knowing how to deal with what you don't know is more valuable than anything you know, because what you don't know is so much greater than anything you know. And so you come out of here probably thinking you're smart or that you know a lot. And I think that that could stand in the way of your open-mindedness. So there are these barriers that people have, which is closed-mindedness that prevents them from taking in things, or their reactions to pain, or even a very good example is thoughtful disagreement. Disagreement itself can be a source of anger and a source of retribution and so on, rather than a source of curiosity. So I think if you take it as an adventure and you go through it that way, you will experience it and you'll constantly have that improvement to higher and higher levels to have the life that you want, which you haven't yet discovered.
It responds like gravity, kinetic energy. Wham, there you go. You don't get mad at gravity when you fall, you learn how to move with it. And yet, people spend their entire lives arguing with reality. This shouldn't have happened. This shouldn't have done that. I deserve better. Dalio would say, you're not playing the game. You're complaining about the rules. And we don't have time to be complaining about the rules as we're aging and time is flying by. So, pain plus reflection equals progress. Here's where things shift. Dalio doesn't avoid pain, he studies it. Because pain is feedback. Ouch, that hurts. Ooh, that burned. Not punishment. He gives us a formula. Pain plus reflection equals progress. Most people experience pain and do one of three things: blame someone else, which we have to learn right now that no longer can we blame human beings for anything. We created all these things in the world to make our lives easier. There's no complaining. It's our responsibility to clean the tub out when somebody gets done with it, if they left something in there, whatever. Blaming does nothing but cause huge issues and competition and all kinds of stuff. It's not worth it. Okay, so most people experience pain and do one of three things. That's one of them: distract themselves or they suppress it. And a lot of us are doing that. And we can't suppress it because it'll bottle up and it comes out in all kinds of different ways and usually at the wrong time. But Dalio does something different. He pauses, he leans into it. He asks, what is this trying to teach me? And remember in another episode, what is this person wanting me to feel? We also need to think that. And that question alone, what is this trying to teach me, separates those who evolve from those who repeat. And we see those people in the world, constant recidivism rate with criminality, going back to jail over and over and over. The life most people can't handle. Dalio built his company on something almost no one can tolerate: radical truth and radical transparency. Imagine a world where your weaknesses are openly discussed, your mistakes are recorded, your thinking is constantly challenged. No hiding, no ego protection, no illusions. Most people hear that and feel very uncomfortable because we are trained to protect our image, our everything. What might they think about you? but not improve our reality. It's to protect our image, not improve our reality. But Dalio flips it. The faster you find your weaknesses, everybody, the faster you remove what's holding you back. And when you face those things head on, you instantly fast forward your quantum self of being better. Your ego is the barrier, not your ability. The machine you don't see. Dalio says your life is a machine. Every action you take is producing results. And data is what drives everything these days. So, start recording the things you're doing, what time you're getting up, what time you're going to bed. Sleep's important. And if you don't like the results, you don't blame the outcome. You fix the machine. That means your habits are gears, your decisions are inputs, your mindset is an operating system. Most people try to fix outcomes directly. Dalio fixes the system behind them because once the system changes, the outcomes follow automatically because you planted seeds of greatness. Becoming the observer of yourself. Here's the deepest shift. Dalio separates you into two parts: the you that acts and the you that watches, the observer. And in China, they, teach this to observe themselves outside of their bodies and what they're doing while they're interacting with people. The observer is where growth lives, okay? Because when you can step outside yourself and see your reactions, your patterns, your emotional triggers, you gain power instantly. Like I told you, it quantumly fast forwards you, not over the world, but over your response to it. And that changes everything. Because your response to things, you have to understand people are human. They don't know all the time the things you know. So there's a mere moment here. The question Dalio leaves you with, not softly, but directly. If your life is the result of your decisions and your decisions come from your thinking, what then happens when your thinking is flawed? Do you protect it? Do you own it? Do you evolve from it? Because the truth is, most people don't fail from lack of effort. They fail from lack of accurate self reflection. And that's the mirror. And it's been there the whole time, facing you. Thank you, you only fan members. There's a voice inside of you. Not the loud one, not the reactive one. Not the one that justifies, defends, explains. The quieter one. The one that watches while the rest of you runs. Most people never meet it because they are too busy being themselves to observe themselves. But today, we're bringing together two minds, Ray Dalio and Daniel Kahneman, to show you something unsettling and liberating. You are not just living your life, you are running a system, and that system is often running you. The mind's inside you. Kahneman breaks down the mind into two systems. System one, fast, emotional, automatic. System two, slow, logical, effortful. System one is what reacts when someone disrespects you. System two is what reflects later, wondering why it mattered so much. System one keeps you alive. System two has the potential to make you aware. But there's the problem. Most people live and die inside system one, reacting, repeating, reinforcing patterns they never choose. I know because I lived there years and years ago. Dalio would say that's a broken machine. The machine and the bias. Dalio teaches your life is a machine. Kahneman reveals your machine is biased. That is the hippocampus, not slightly, but systematically. You don't see reality as it is. You see it as your mind filters it. So, your rose colored glasses. You overvalue your own perspective. You defend beliefs without evidence. You repeat emotional reactions that feel like truth. And the most dangerous part, it feels correct every time. So when your life isn't working, it's not just your habits, it's the invisible code behind them. Pain is the interrupt signal. Dalio gives us the formula: pain plus reflection equals progress, which we talked about earlier. Kahneman explains why most people never reach the second half because reflection, it requires system two, and system two is lazy. It conserves energy, it avoids discomfort, it defers to system one constantly. So instead of reflecting, you justify. Instead of questioning, you defend. Instead of evolving, you repeat. But pain. Pain is the moment the system glitches. It's the interruption, the signal that something deeper is off. And in that moment, you have a choice. Return to autopilot or wake up. And there's a radical truth that meets cognitive illusion. Dalio demands radical truth. Kahneman proves you are wild to avoid it. And that's why in one of our episodes, I included the clip of it takes ultimate forgiveness to forgive yourself no matter what, because your brain protects your identity more than it protects accuracy. You don't just have an ego, everyone. You have a defense system, and it filters. Criticism becomes attack, feedback becomes rejection, truth becomes discomfort. You reshape reality to stay comfortable, pretty much. Dalio would say, if you can't see your weaknesses, you can't fix them. Kahneman would add, and your mind is built to hide them from you. So growth requires something rare, the willingness to feel wrong, becoming the observer. And this is important, the third position. This is where both philosophies meet, everyone, in a place most people never access, the observer. Not system one, not system two, but the awareness behind both. Going outside of your body, your mind, and watching yourself in action. The part of you that can notice, I'm reacting emotionally right now. I'm defending something I haven't questioned. There's no logic behind this. This feels true, but is it? This is the moment you step outside the machine. And once you can see it, you can change it. You can be the operator of it. The quiet mechanics here. And now we speak to the part of you that has been listening this entire time. Silence, patiently, working behind the scenes of every thought you've ever had. You're not broken, but parts of your system are outdated. You learned reactions before you learned awareness. You built beliefs before you learned how to question them. And now you are living inside patterns that once protected you but no longer serve you any justice. Because that's what I had to learn myself. And it's hard. The quiet mechanics within you do not judge this. They observe it, they adjust. When you allow them to see clearly, every moment of frustration is not failure, it is feedback. Every emotional reaction is not weakness, it is data. Every repeated mistake is not proof you can't change, it is proof you haven't slowed down long enough to understand the system behind it. You don't need to become someone else. You need to become aware of who you already are beneath the noise. Slow down, not to stop your life, but to finally see it. Question your thoughts, not to doubt yourself, but to refine yourself. Feel your discomforts. Let them talk, not to suffer, but to uncover what is asking to change here. What's being told inside of myself that I have been blocking out with energy drinks and whatever's going on out there. Because the truth is, the life you want is not built through force. It is revealed through understanding. And the quietest part of you has known that all along. And thank you to all my You Only fan members all around the world. I appreciate every single one of you. We have a huge calling in India. We have a huge calling in Africa. Thank you very much to our followers in Germany, the UK. Thank you guys out there in Ireland. Thank you to everybody in Miami, LA, Chicago, Charleston. So many of you mean so much. Thank you to every single one of you that tune in and listen. I do appreciate you. And sorry that I uploaded the wrong episode here. Big mistake, but I'm still getting there. And thank you guys again. I can't say it enough.